Blue Note apartment, 2 rooms and a view of the alley and a slice of avenue. Miles on the speakers, low enough to think. Coffee getting cold beside the kitchen sink. This is what intelligence looks like alone. Not the performed kind, but the kind that's known in the private hours when nobody grades. The quality of thought that slowly trades its way through problems that don't have a name, in books or courses or in public acclaim. Just personal philosophical debates with yourself about what really resonates as true in your specific life and time. Blue Note apartment is where I find the quiet space to actually think things through without performance, without proving true. Blue Note apartment, Blue Note apartment, where the jazz and solitude are patent. Blue Note apartment, Blue Note apartment, intelligence and stillness acquiescing. Here's where real thinking gets to breathe. Here's where I discover and believe in thoughts that don't need outside validation. Blue Note apartment, contemplation. Got a wall of books I'm working through at the rate of 2 a month or 2, and a notebook for the margins where I write the things that occur to me at night, about the books and what they mean today, about the world they were addressing way back in their original context, and how that maps to everything at hand right now in this moment, in this place. Blue Note apartment is the sacred space where reading, thinking, writing all combine into something that is genuinely mine. Not borrowed, not performed for any crowd, just private intellectual allowed to exist without the need to show anyone anything they need to know. Blue Note apartment, Blue Note apartment, where the jazz and solitude are patent. Blue Note apartment, Blue Note apartment, intelligence and stillness acquiescent. Here's where real thinking gets to breathe. Here's where I discover and believe in thoughts that don't need outside validation. Blue Note apartment, contemplation. Monk said it best in the intervals between the notes that no one else controls. The space inside the apartment is jazz, and the thinking is the music that it has. Midnight and the record reaches its end. Needle lifts and silence starts to blend into the apartment. Sounds of just being here. The refrigerator hum, the city near, and I sit with what I've thought tonight in the Blue Note apartment, getting right with the version of myself that reads and thinks while the coffee slowly cools beside the sink. This is the life I chose. Instead of loud, instead of constantly performing for a crowd. Blue Note apartment holds my solitary intellectual called incumbent library of thought and music blending into one. Blue Note apartment, when the day is done, is where I become most truly me. Blue Note apartment is where I'm free. Blue Note apartment, Blue Note apartment, where the jazz and solitude are patent. Blue Note apartment, Blue Note apartment, intelligence and stillness acquiescent. Here's where real thinking gets to breathe. Here's where I discover and believe in thoughts that don't need outside validation. Blue Note apartment, contemplation. Blue Note apartment, Blue Note apartment, where the jazz and solitude are patent. Blue Note apartment, Blue Note apartment, intelligence and stillness acquiescent. Here's where real thinking gets to breathe. Here's where I discover and believe in thoughts that don't need outside validation. Yeah. Coltrane changed the sound 4 times at least, each time moving further from the feast of comfortable and recognizable form into something past the ordinary norm. And people every time said he had lost the accessibility at too high a cost. But Coltrane knew that staying was the death of everything that gave the music breath. He knew the transformation wasn't failure, wasn't losing touch with what was earlier, but rather was the only honest way to keep the music living day to day. Because he changed, because his spirit grew, because what satisfied him at 22 would feel like a cage by 35. Coltrane had to change to stay alive. Coltrane changes, life demands we move through all the ranges. Coltrane changes, every transformation rearranges who we are into who we become. Coltrane changes on where you run from, and where you run toward to stay real. Coltrane changes are the only way to feel. And I've been through my Coltrane changes too, the comfortable version I outgrew. Around the time that everything familiar started feeling smaller and peculiar, like a coat I'd worn since I was young, that no longer fit around my lung. And I had to choose between the safe old fit and breathing free without the benefit of recognition from the people who had known me as the version that came through. Before the changes started happening, before I started questioning everything that I had built my life upon, until that moment when the comfortable grew still and started dying. Coltrane changes came and took me somewhere past my former name. Coltrane changes, life demands we move through all the ranges. Coltrane changes, every transformation rearranges who we are into who we become. Coltrane changes on where you run from, that where you run toward to stay real. Coltrane changes are the only way to feel. A love supreme came after years. A change came from Coltrane, moving through the range of everything you'd been before that night, when transformation finally got it right. Yeah. Now I'm somewhere in my love supreme, the chapter after chasing every dream that wasn't mine, the one that's finally real. The music that I actually feel, and in my chest when it comes through without the interference of the fear and doubt. Coltrane changes led me somewhere true. The changes were the music all the way through, from the beginning to this present place, where I can finally recognize my face in the mirror as belonging to a man who changed because he followed his own plan. Through all the transformations, all the cars, through everything that looked like it was lost, but really was just metamorphosis. Coltrane changes bringing me to this. Coltrane changes, life demands we move through all the ranges. Coltrane changes, every transformation rearranges who we are into who we become. Coltrane changes on where you run from, that where you run toward to stay real. Coltrane changes are the only way to feel. Coltrane change, Coltrane change, Coltrane change. Nobody ever came for the upright bass. Nobody bought the ticket for that face of the man in the back who held the room together in the rhythm and the gloom of midnight sets, when everything required a foundation deeper than the tire. Applause that followed every saxophone. The bass was giving everybody home. The bass was walking through the changes, making sure that nothing fell apart or breaking under weight of everybody's solo flight. Bass was keeping everything upright, metaphorically and literally too. The whole room leaned on what the bassist knew about holding steady, keeping time and space, or everyone to find their proper place. Oh, upright bass theory, holding what the world needs most invisibly. Upright bass theory, foundation is the highest form of mystery. Nobody sees it, nobody applauds, but without it everything is flawed. Upright bass is teaching me to be the structure that supports community. I wanna be the upright bass in rooms, not the spotlight solo that consumes all the attention, all the praise and call. I wanna be what holds it when things fall into chaos or uncertainty or doubt. Wanna be the thing that smooths it out, the deep and walking pulse beneath the night, the reason everything else sounds right. I spent too many years trying to solo, trying to be the one that people know by name and recognize and come to see, but that was just my insecurity, dressed up as ambition, looking for validation through that open door of recognition. Now I understand, the bassist is the most important hand. Upright bass theory, holding what the world needs most invisibly. Upright bass theory. Foundation is the highest form of mystery. Nobody sees it, nobody applauds, but without it everything is flawed. Upright bass is teaching me to be the structure that supports community. In jazz, the bass player reads the room before the soloist picks up the tune, before the piano finds its opening chord. The bass is walking out the reward. Society is always undervalued. The people who maintain the things accrued by those who do the visible, the bright, the ones who keep it functioning at night. The nurses and the teachers and the ones who show up early before anyone runs. The upright base of human enterprise is where the real intelligence resides. The ones who hold it steady, hold it true, while everyone else does what they do. In the spotlight, in the recognition, the bassist knows their quiet mission is deeper than the praise could ever reach. It's foundational is what they teach about being human, being whole. Upright bass theory is my soul. Upright bass theory, holding what the world needs most invisibly. Upright bass theory. Foundation is the highest form of mystery. Nobody sees and nobody applauds, but without it everything is flawed. Upright bass is teaching me to be the structure that supports community. Upright bass theory. Upright bass theory. Upright bass theory. Foundation is the highest form of mystery.
Bird was watching from the bandstand still. Every time the saxophone would fill, the room was something only Bird had known, the way to find a melody alone. In the architectures of a chord that most musicians couldn't quite afford. The rent on Bird's imagination cost more than most were willing to exhaust. In practice and dedication, in sheer obsession with the music without fear of being called too much or too intense, Bird lived at music's furthest fence and looked beyond it into what could be. If you gave everything to melody, if you sacrificed the normal for the sound that nobody else had ever found. Bird watching, all that genius never really stopping. Bird watching, in every note that's worthy there is something of Bird still living in the way we play, of Bird still showing us the honest way to improvise, to find, to seek, to soar. Bird watching means there's always something more. I put the record on at 1:30 when the conversations all were done, and let the alto speak a century of truth into my contemporary. Confused
confusion of what the music means, and how to live between the jazz extremes. A discipline and freedom at the same impossible and necessary game. Bird played it better than anyone before, or since he opened up that door into bebop, into speed, into the real intelligence of everything you feel. When you're alive, the possibility to what the music shows you it could be. If you stopped holding back, stopped playing safe, started living like there's no more wait. Bird watching, all that genius never really stopping. Bird watching, in every note that's worthy there is something. A bird still living in the way we play, a bird still showing us the honest way to improvise, to find, to seek, to soar. Bird watching means there's always something more. Genius doesn't disappear into the grave, it leaves the music as a kind of wave that keeps on moving through the years ahead. And Bird is very present though he's dead. Now I write the way that Bird would play, finding the unexpected, honest way into the melody that everyone expects, and turning just before the logic wrecks the surprise of what I'm trying to say. Bird taught me that the most authentic way is never quite the way the changes go. It's the note you play that no one else would know, to play right there in that exact spot. The note that logic says you should have not, but feeling says is absolutely right. Bird watching teaches me to trust the flight of intuition over learned response, to break the rules, become the nonchalance that looks like ease but really comes from knowing everything so well you can start going beyond it into territories new. Bird watching is what genius learned to do. Bird watching, all that genius never really stopping. Bird watching, in every note that's worthy there is something. A bird still living in the way we play, a bird still showing us the honest way to improvise, to find, to seek, to soar. Bird watching means there's always something more. Bird watching, bird watching, da 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 da. Bird watching, bird watching, bird watching, bird watching, bird watching, bird watching. Yeah. Coltrane playing in the background low. Miles Davis taught me how to flow. Jazz ain't just a sound, it's a state, something that you learn to appreciate. Yeah. Notes between the notes, they say. Yeah. That's where all the meaning lay. Every pause is loud as sound. That's the jazz rap truth I found. Yeah. Jazz in streets, worlds that meet, where the complex and the simple greet. Jazz in streets, my two homes, never really been alone. Jazz in streets, worlds that meet, where the complex and the simple greet. Jazz in streets, my two homes, never really been alone. Corner store to concert hall, jazz has answered every call. In the cracks of city life, between the beauty and the strife, saxophone on a fire escape, every note helping me escape into something more refined, left the lesser thoughts behind. Jazz in streets, worlds that meet, where the complex and the simple greet. Jazz in streets, my two homes, never really been alone. Jazz in streets, worlds that meet, where the complex and the simple greet. Jazz in the streets, my two homes, never really been alone. Jazz taught me patience, oh. Streets taught me strength, oh. Somewhere in between I found my wavelength, oh. Jazz in streets, worlds at me, where the complex and the simple greet. Jazz in streets, my two homes, never really been